Hi, my name is Meredith O'Brien. I am with Illinois Association for Behavioral Health, the Illinois node for the MHTTC. I am here with Carrie Coughlin. Carrie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am a school counselor at Cowden Herrick Junior Senior High, and it's my third year there.
Okay, and then what is the age group for that? You typically, what is the age group of kids that you typically see?
So I have sixth grade to seniors, but if something were to happen, I would get called to the elementary.
Okay, and then what part of the state do you serve? What's the community like?
So I'm in rural central Illinois, so small town community.
About how many kids are in your school?
Our school is tiny. It is about maybe 200 for K-12.
Okay. What made you want to go into this career? Like, was there a pivotal moment in your life that you're like, I want to be a school counselor?
So I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. I went to college and then didn't have a major for 2.5 years. And then my advisor basically said, this is the path that of all your classes you've been taking. So there's probably a reason to it. And then I graduated with a bachelor's in psych and realized you can't do much and needed to do something else. So there wasn't like a pivotal moment until after undergrad and I started looking at what else was out there. I was like, oh, I had really bad anxiety in school. I hated school. Maybe I can be an advocate for the kids who are just like me.
Nice. So, what are the main objectives of your role from day to day?
So it really varies depending on your school district, but essentially, I think to sum it up, what we do the most, or what we essentially do, is just promote and acknowledge that every student in the school should have an equal opportunity to be successful outside of school.
Okay. And then what does your day to day look like? So, do kids come to you when they have a rough day? Kind of what are the concerns you see in young adults?
So again, it really every day is totally different. So it could be a kid in crisis, paperwork, IEPs, scheduling, college prep, testing,
All the things.
kind of goes on. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah. So you said you got your bachelor's in psychology?
Mhm.
Okay, and so what was the process of getting your master's like?
So to get your master's in school counseling, you just need a bachelor's of, I think, any kind of bachelor's degree. And then I went through a 3-year master's program that I think all programs now have ventured away from school counseling as a track. So you go through a mental health counseling and then get an endorsement in schools. So I had a 3-year program after my bachelor's.
Okay, did you have any internships after that, or was it straight into the system?
The internship was embedded into the program. So it was 3 years of school with a 1.5 year internship in the program.
Gotcha. What would you say are some pros and cons of your job?
I think the most common answer to that is you're in education and you get the summers off. Um, and I mean, I like the pro that every day is different because I would get so bored if every day looked the same. So I like the flexibility of it and that I don't have to stand in front of students and teach, but I can still advocate for them and have that avenue with them. But I would say a downfall is pay for sure.
Hmm.
And I mean, if you're just not flexible or adapt for it, I think it could be really stressful and you could burn out pretty quick.
So, what do you think is the most demanding part about your job?
Probably the fact that it varies so much. So, I mean, I could go into the day and think I'm doing this, this, and this, and not get any of that done, and then still have to have it done when it's due, you know?
Yeah. On
And
average, how much do you think you do overtime for working?
I'm very solid on my boundaries, so I won't do anything before or after
Mhm.
school. So I think it's just about like juggling the time management to make sure you get all the things done.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, if a kid comes in crisis or they're suicidal, I mean, that takes priority over whatever you were doing.
I totally agree on boundaries with working between the time that you're given.
I am
Um,
in contract time. You will not find me after.
yeah. So comparatively to like if you were to do this job in Chicago, is there like much of a pay difference? Like, do you think there is some sort of competition between pay and salaries?
I think so, but I'm always torn between, is it really a pay difference or is the cost of living higher
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago? So, like, I looked it up and it was like the average range was like 30 to 70 in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a huge gap, but I don't know if that's just cost of living or I don't know. But I
Yeah.
know from my position personally, my school board negotiated my salary, so it didn't start at the normal tier.
Right. Right. Okay. When it comes going back to kind of like your schooling, did you receive, was there plenty of scholarships or do you know of any loan forgiveness situations that you are eligible for?
I am not the best person for that. I don't know. I didn't do any loans, but I know there's like teacher forgiveness loans, and I would assume we would fall into that category.
Right.
I really don't know. I know that you still get that 6 month grace period once you graduate to repay loans, but I don't know. I know for masters in general, I think the financial aid is typically lower than
Yeah.
undergrad.
Yeah. Did you
So
go to straight into your master's after bachelor's? Yeah.
yeah,
Did you go to the same school or different schools?
different schools.
Different. Okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Did you have any other comments for anything you wanted to add?
No, is there anything you want to know?
I guess kind of going back to the burnout, like have you experienced it and like if you have, has it been related to like paperwork or kind of what would you say if you were to experience it, what would you think it would be?
I think it can be really hard when you're taking kids in their most vulnerable moments and then listening and trying to soothe them and calm them and bring them back down. Because I mean, some of it's hard, like the like abuse or neglect or
Mhm.
DCFS involved, or I mean, some of the stuff can be really heavy. So I think burnout is super common if you don't have those boundaries and you take it home with you. I mean, me personally, no, because my master's like drilled burnout and how common it is. So I feel like because of that and most of my family working in schools and doing the opposite, like not having those boundaries, I've seen the toll it can take. So me personally, no, but I definitely see how strong it could be.
Yeah. Was there anything that your master's did not prepare you for this field?
Yeah, most of it. um, I think especially like I said, most of the programs are straying away from a school counselor program. You don't learn the aspects of like school, like testing, scheduling, like 75% of your job. Like, yes, I know what to do when a kid comes in crisis, but do I know how to make a master or give a state test?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, you weren't taught that. Yeah. That's more of like a teacher path.
Yeah, like we didn't have training in that. So that was more like learn as you go. Good luck,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
which can be a downfall for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most careers are kind of a learned process anymore, but
Yeah,
that's just my 2 cents.
I agree.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.